Is there a particular area in your life that's just not going well? Maybe it's a few different areas in your life. Things just aren't working out. Are there parts of your life, or maybe it feels like your whole life, that's just falling apart? Well, do you know what the algorithm of your life is? If you don't know what that is or what that means, stick with me in this video and I will help reveal it to you. Hello, my beautiful people. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Grady and I'm the counselor and transformational coach at Butterfly Project. So let's talk about this. This is actually an analogy that I've come up with, and I've heard some other people, talk about it as well over the last, a couple of years. But this relates to not just conscious manifesting, but that very much, applies to this, but also even just psychology. So I'll give you an example. Have you ever looked into buying a vehicle? Okay. And, you're searching up the vehicle. And of course, yes, the actual algorithm, of your search engines and maybe your, social media platforms or YouTube or whatever it is, all of a sudden, is giving you more suggestions based on this, but not just that algorithm. You'll actually start to notice this vehicle everywhere. It's like all of a sudden everybody's driving this vehicle. And that's not actually what's happening. What's happening, and this is the psychology piece, what's happening is your reticular activating system of your brain. Okay, so the RAS part of your brain. This is, part of the subconscious mind. And if you guys know, I've said it many times on my channel, but your life, 95% of your life is actually run by your subconscious mind. So you're not even aware 95% of the time of what is actually happening. So only 5% of your conscious mind, your awareness, is active. Okay? The rest is happening from your subconscious mind. So this, reticulating activating system, sorry guys, I'm struggling to talk today, the RAS part of your brain, right, is scanning your environment. And now consciously, that 5% part of your conscious mind wasn't aware of the vehicle. So wasn't, really kind of looking for it. And now, because you're interested in this and you're looking into it, now all of a sudden, this part of your brain, the RAS, starts scanning your environment and brings to your awareness, your conscious awareness, brings that conscious part of your mind to actually start to notice this vehicle everywhere. Okay? So when you were driving before, there were still those vehicles and, you were taking it in subconsciously, but your subconscious mind wasn't making it consciously aware for you. But now that you're interested in this and looking into it, now it is making you aware of it. So now you start to realize, oh my goodness, I see this vehicle everywhere. So that's what's happening in psychology. And when we're talking about conscious manifesting, okay, if you know about this, and if you don't, you might want to check out, some of my videos on this, or you can, Google it. But in conscious manifesting, what we're actually doing is we're using our thoughts to, create our reality. Our thoughts, our assumptions, and our beliefs are creating our physical reality. And so when you are thinking, certain thoughts, when you're having certain assumptions or beliefs about whatever, you, money, jobs, society, people, right? Relationships, career, all these things, health, whatever it is that you have these thoughts, assumptions, and beliefs about, okay, is what is going to appear. So the algorithm of your life is based on what you're putting your focus on. This goes back to that psychology piece, right? Because whatever you're kind of focused on, all of a sudden consciously, your RAS part of the brain is going to start scanning your environment, and it's going to start making you notice that. And it's kind of like radio towers, right? Putting out, that radio signal and connecting, right? So magnetizing to us these things. Okay, so the algorithm part of your life, based on psychology or conscious manifesting, is that now if you're focused on this, right? You've probably heard the saying, wherever your focus grows or attention goes, it grows, right? And so if you're focused on something, you're putting your attention on this. With conscious manifesting, you are thinking these things, you're assuming certain things, right? You're believing certain things, okay? So regardless of which approach works for you or what it is that you believe in or, resonate with, it doesn't really matter because both are doing the same thing. So this is going to create an algorithm in your life. And just like the algorithm that happens on your search engines or your social media or on YouTube, right? It's the same thing. You start thinking these things, you start focusing on these things, it is going to bring up more of that. Then you're, thinking like, oh my goodness, it's basically it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But I like the algorithm analogy because we all know about this. So take a look at your life. This is how we can figure out what's the algorithm, and this is the key to changing it. This is how we can find the solution. So take a look at your life, this area that's not going well. Things are, not working out for you, or, things are falling apart in one area or several areas. Take a look at that. What is showing up for you? Okay. Multiple things are showing up for you in this one area, let's say. If you take a look at that, now you know that's what I've been thinking, or that's what I've been believing or assuming, or that's what I've been focused on. Okay? So no wonder, right? If it's health, let's say, one health issue comes up and then, something goes wrong with that and then something else comes up, or you just aren't getting better or you're actually getting worse. This is why, because the algorithm of your life has shifted and changed based on your focus, based on your thoughts, assumptions, and beliefs. So if you want to change the algorithm on your social media or YouTube or your search engines, what do? Right? You start choosing different things, focusing on different things, right? Searching different things. That's changing your focus. And over time, it's going to change the algorithm. Just like in your life, if you start to focus on something different in regards to that area, you're thinking different things about it, you're assuming or believing different things about it, the algorithm of your life is going to change. So take a look at what's actually happening and realize, oh, that's what's happening. It's it's a really great analogy because it makes it super simple. Okay, I don't like this algorithm. Okay, if you've ever done that, you've, maybe clicked on certain things and then more of that shows up and you're like, oh, I don't want to see that anymore. Stop clicking on it. Stop searching it. Stop focusing on it. And the algorithm will change, and usually fairly quickly. This is what you do for your life. Stop focusing on that you don't want. Stop thinking the bad, negative thoughts. Stop assuming the bad, the negative things. Stop believing, whatever it is that's happening. Okay? Don't put your focus, assumptions, thoughts, and beliefs into that. Switch it. And then eventually the algorithm in your life is going to change. Okay? Something else I just want to mention is if you don't really, believe or resonate in this, something else that happens, even if you're not physically searching on your search engine or on YouTube or your social media, have you ever noticed, even if you're not searching or clicking or physically doing anything to create that algorithm, have you noticed that you have thoughts about certain things, assumptions, right? You're maybe focused on something just in your own mind. And all of a sudden it starts popping up and you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't even search this. I didn't talk to anybody about it. I didn't do anything. I just thought it. And all of a sudden this came up. Do you think that's a coincidence? It's not, right? So if you want to change your life, if you want to change a certain circumstance, a situation, something in your life that isn't going right or is falling apart, if you want to change that, if you want it to be different, Change the algorithm of your life and watch how everything changes for you. Okay? Focus on a new algorithm. Create a new algorithm by focusing on what you do want, thinking positive thoughts about your situation, assuming positive things about it. Okay? Believing that what it is that you desire and want and the outcome that you want and what it is that you want to have is possible, right? Believe that you can have it. Believe, that this can be, right? That this can work out for you. Assume that it can. Have positive thoughts about the situation, regardless of what you're seeing. Because remember, that's just like the algorithm, regardless of what you're seeing. You're just seeing it more and more and more, right? Because you're being focused on it more. You're thinking about it more. You're assuming more about it, right? So we want to assume what it is that you want, not what you don't want. You want to think positive about what you want, not what you don't want. You want to believe you can have what you want, not what you don't want. You want to focus on what you do want, how you do want things to work out, right? You want to focus on good and positive in regards to those situations as opposed to the negative. So this is how you're going to change that algorithm of your life, okay? Because if not, unfortunately, guess what's going to happen? The algorithm, it's just like an algorithm. Your life will start to just give you more and more and more of what it is that you're thinking about, what you're assuming, and what you're focused on, what you're believing, okay? So if you don't like this algorithm, okay, you have the power to change it. If you don't believe me, put it to the test, okay? And watch what happens. All right, my loves, thanks so much for being here today with me. I really enjoyed doing this video for you guys. Hopefully it was helpful. If it was, I would truly appreciate if you can give me a like, comment down below, share my channel or this video with others. If you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe and be part of this ever-growing butterfly community. And if you are already subscribed, thank you so much for being here. You guys, doing any number of these things really is the best way to support me, to help my channel to grow, and to help get my messages out there. If you know me, you know that one of my biggest passions is to help as many people as I possibly can. And also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos. Pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to what you're focused on. If you don't like it, change it so you can change the algorithm of your life. And as always, you guys, I wish you all peace, love, and light. Until next time. Bye-bye.